Welcome everyone to the channel, Insane Criminal Cases. We will tell you about the shocking criminal cases in the world. The topic of today's video will definitely interest you. Now let's find out. Gu Junshan, a former senior officer in the Chinese military, became one of the most notorious figures in China's modern history of anti-corruption efforts. The name Gu Junshan once resounded with both admiration and fear within the corridors of the People's Liberation Army, PLA. A man who climbed the ranks through shrewd maneuvering and political cunning. Gu's eventual fall exposed the inner workings of one of China's most secretive institutions. His story is one of extraordinary ambition, unchecked greed, and a downfall that forever changed China's military. In 2014, Gu Junshan, the former deputy head of the PLA's General Logistics Department, became the face of one of the largest corruption scandals in Chinese military history. The revelations of his amassed fortune, lavish lifestyle, and flagrant abuse of power not only stunned the public but also underscored the urgency of President Xi Jinping's sweeping anti-corruption campaign. Born in 1956 in Puyang, Henan Province, Gu Junshan's rise to prominence began from humble origins. Like many of his peers, Gu joined the PLA with aspirations of social mobility and a better life. Early on, he displayed an uncanny ability to navigate the military's labyrinthine bureaucracy, forging relationships with influential figures that would later prove crucial. Gu's real ascent began in the 1990s when he secured a position within the logistics department, a role often seen as mundane but rife with opportunities for those with the cunning to exploit it. The General Logistics Department was responsible for the PLA's vast network of properties, supplies, and financial resources. In Gu's hands, this department became a personal goldmine. As deputy head of logistics, Gu Junshan wielded immense power. He oversaw the acquisition and allocation of military land, infrastructure projects, and procurement contracts. What should have been an administrative role focused on supporting the PLA became a stage for grand corruption. Land deals and kickbacks. One of Gu's most lucrative schemes involved selling military land to developers. Gu exploited the PLA's extensive holdings, often selling prime real estate at below market prices in exchange for massive bribes. In some cases, these transactions were disguised as reallocation projects to avoid scrutiny. The profits, funneled directly into Gu's private accounts or used to curry favor with senior officials. How much did Gu Junshan embezzle? The exact scale of Gu Junshan's corruption was almost unimaginable. While precise figures are challenging to ascertain due to the secretive nature of his trial and the Chinese military's opacity, estimates suggest that he embezzled or misused hundreds of millions of yuan, amounting to tens of millions of US dollars. Reports indicate that Gu received bribes totaling at least 600 million yuan, approximately $90 million, from real estate developers and contractors. Sold military land at artificially low prices, pocketing exorbitant kickbacks, misappropriated government funds allocated for military housing and infrastructure, constructed lavish personal properties using funds earmarked for soldier welfare. The solid gold Mao Zedong statue. Among the many shocking revelations about Gu Junshan's wealth, none captured public attention more than the solid gold statue of Chairman Mao. This 50-kilogram artifact, reportedly kept in one of his villas, became a symbol of his unchecked greed and the stark disconnect between his actions and the revolutionary ideals Mao espoused. Palatial estates and replicas of historical sites. Gu Junshan's properties were equally audacious. One infamous construction project was a full-scale replica of Beijing's Summer Palace. Built on land designated for military barracks, sprawling over acres, this estate was outfitted with imported marble, rare woodwork, and priceless antiques, further underscoring Gu's indulgent lifestyle. In another instance, Gu allegedly ordered the construction of a lavish villa complex in Henan Province, complete with private lakes and gardens. These projects not only drained public funds but also symbolized the stark inequality between military elites and rank-and-file soldiers living in substandard conditions. A hoard of hidden wealth. When investigators raided Gu's properties in 2012, they uncovered a treasure trove of ill-gotten gains. Boxes of gold bars stacked floor to ceiling in hidden vaults. cash hoards in multiple currencies, amounting to millions, antiques and luxury goods, including jade carvings, rare porcelain, and fine art, a fleet of luxury vehicles, including custom-made limousines and imported SUVs. These discoveries shocked even seasoned anti-corruption officials, with one insider describing Gu's wealth as resembling the treasure room of a historical palace. But Gu's indulgence didn't stop with material possessions. His family's extravagant lifestyle was the stuff of legend. His children attended elite schools abroad, and Gu reportedly owned a fleet of luxury cars, including custom-made limousines. By the time Gu was arrested in 2012, the PLA had become a focal point of Xi's reforms. Corruption within the military not only undermined its operational effectiveness but also threatened the party's control over this critical institution. Gu's arrest and subsequent trial marked a turning point. His case was handled with utmost secrecy, a reflection of the sensitive nature of military corruption. In 2014, Gu was charged with bribery, embezzlement, and abuse of power. Reports indicated that he had amassed hundreds of millions of yuan through illicit means. In 2015, Gu Junshan was convicted and sentenced to death with a 2-year reprieve, effectively guaranteeing a life sentence. The trial, though closed to the public, sent shockwaves throughout the military and civilian sectors. For many, Gu's conviction was a testament to the seriousness of Xi Jinping's anti-corruption efforts. The sentencing also served as a stark warning to others within the PLA who might have considered using their positions for personal gain. Xi's administration emphasized that no one, not even a general, was above the law. Gu's punishment was not only a personal reckoning but also a symbolic act aimed at restoring public confidence in the military and the party. Gu Junshan's case was not an isolated incident. It exposed systemic issues within the PLA, where a lack of oversight and transparency had allowed corruption to thrive. For years, the military operated as a state within a state, with little external scrutiny. Positions were often sold to the highest bidder, promotions were influenced by bribes, and resources were diverted for personal gain. Gu's trial laid the groundwork for a series of reforms aimed at professionalizing the PLA. These included measures to increase transparency, improve financial management, and centralize decision-making. The anti-corruption drive also targeted other high-ranking officers, leading to a wave of arrests and dismissals. While Gu's conviction marked the end of his personal saga, the legacy of his corruption continues to shape discussions about governance and accountability in China. His case highlighted the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of institutional oversight. It also underscored the challenges facing Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign, which some critics argue is as much about consolidating power as it is about rooting out wrongdoing. For ordinary citizens, Gu Junshan became a symbol of the excesses of the elite. His golden statue of Mao Zedong and palatial estates stood in stark contrast to the lives of rank-and-file soldiers and civilians. The public outrage that followed his exposure reflected a deep-seated frustration with inequality and the abuse of authority. The rise and fall of Gu Junshan is a story of ambition, greed, and eventual reckoning. It is a cautionary tale about the corrupting influence of unchecked power and the devastating consequences of prioritizing personal gain over public duty. While his conviction may have brought a sense of justice, it also served as a stark reminder of the systemic challenges that remain. Thank you for watching our video. Insane Criminal Cases. Chanel hopes you have had great entertainment moments. Wish you all the best.